Well, now back to our breaking news out of D.C. Moments ago, D.C. Council voted on one juvenile curfew bill. This is a debate that we have been closely following at 7 News. So let's get back to our Washington, D.C. reporter, Felicia Ashley, who's been in that hearing all day. She stepped out at 4 to give us an update here. Felicia, tell us now how council members voted on this.
Right, well, what just happened is that in an 8-5 vote, council did vote to pass the permanent legislation of the juvenile curfew. Now, there was a lot of back and forth, some contentious moments, council members still stating that they were not satisfied with what was in front of them, others saying that the changes that were made, they felt were okay to get the current job done. Now, what we also learned is that Councilwoman Donnie Crawford made changes to the bill that changed some council members who were previously against it to officially make that yes vote. Now, I want to list some of the changes that we will expect to see once this curfew is in place. So here are the changes that we will see. The time is going to change back to 12:01 a.m. as a start time for weekends and the summer. It also adds more requirements for notices about curfews. Police can issue a verbal warning no more than 30 minutes before curfew, and the amended bill also tells police to look at stats before designating youth curfew zones.
These are common sense protections that ensure enforcement is tied to behavior, not perception. And finally, this ANS recognizes something that the research is very clear about. Enforcement alone does not address the underlying conditions driving these gatherings. If we are telling young people where they cannot be, we should simultaneously be a part of creating spaces where they can be.
That was Councilmember Donnie Crawford, who made the changes to the bill in which the council members voted yes to. Now, council members Brianne Nadeau, Janice Lewis George, Trayon White, Robert White, and Zachary Parker said that this is bad policy, and they say some police interactions that they have seen are concerning.
How is it that we always have the money to incarcerate and handcuff, but we don't have the money to prevent? The reason I'm voting no is because I'm not going to be part of a system that always says we have the resources for consequences, but not the resources for prevention. We can't keep going in this circle and expect anything other than what we have.
One of the additional changes added to this curfew is the fact that when there is a curfew zone put in place, Crawford said that in addition to that, the city also has to plan an event for teens in place of these curfews. Now, I asked her exactly how many events, if there are 5 curfew zones, how many events will be in place, and she said that has not been confirmed as yet, but there will be at least one event planned for the weekend. For now, I'll send it back to you.
Okay, some details to sort out there. Felicia, I know you were tracking another vote, another possible vote as well. What about that emergency curfew legislation?
Right, well, that was an interesting part of the hours-long hearing today, because although they voted yes on the permanent legislation, they decided to kick the vote on the emergency legislation down the road again. This is about the second time they have postponed this vote. But what this means right now is that the mayor's order on this emergency legislation, that ends May 1st. The earliest council plans to vote on emergency legislation now is May 5th. So that means there could be a gap with this curfew in some of the spring and summer months. That is something that the council members that were in support of this curfew say will create another challenge. For now, reporting live from the Wilson Building, Felicia Ashley, 7 News.